like to welcome everybody to Clergy Talk Podcast, The World Wants to Know. Today I'm going to be starting a series on internet scams and social media scams. That's a hot topic. And my guest is Brittany Harris, is that correct?
Yes.
And
Hi.
I'm going to give her the keys to the show and let her share anything she wants to share with us. Take it away, Brittany.
Okay, so since the topic is internet scams, I'm going to tell y'all a story about a time I was almost scammed, and it's actually happened quite recently. So I had been saving up a bunch of money, just regular savings. And when your savings starts to build, like you're watching it every single day, every day. So I get these messages from what I think is, or what I thought was Navy Federal, asking me if I had authorized some charge. I can't remember exactly what it was for, but it was for over $200. So I'm like, what the heck? Like, I haven't bought anything. I've kind of chilled out on Amazon. So I'm like, what is going on? What is this charge? So of course I responded no. And the reason why I responded to that message is because a lot of banks nowadays, specifically with Navy Federal and USAA, if they sense, some strange changes on your account or, some charges that look a little foreign, they will message you and you'll confirm, hey, this was me, or no, I don't know what this is. And they will call you immediately.
Right.
So when I got that message, I was like, oh, heck no, I don't know what this charge is coming from, where this charge is coming from. No, I do not authorize this. And then they're like, okay, please stand by. We're going to give you a call. So I'm like, okay, man, Navy Federal's really on it. So I get the phone call. And when I tell you, Michael, it was just like talking to Navy Federal, had me authenticate my account, but I was still going through the motions, but I could also sense that something was just slightly off. You know how you get that feeling? So I'm like, man, he's having me ask my account information multiple times. And just some of the things that he's saying just not make sense. So as I'm giving my account information, they're telling me, okay, well, we have to change your password because you're no longer going to have access.
Right.
Password. So then he's like, well, we're going to send you an encrypted text. And, he's using all the bank lingo. I'm like, okay, Navy Federal is really taking care of me. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know, just kind of weird, So this is like, he's going through all of these charges. Ma'am, did you authorize this? And I'm like, no, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. The last thing I bought was like DoorDash. Like, what is going on? So basically he says, okay, well, we're going to refund you all of, these miscellaneous charges that you don't have any knowledge of. So I'm like, okay, cool. But at the same time, I'm still like, this is kind of weird. So as he's going through the motions, he keeps putting me on hold, and he just kind of sounds really disheveled as we're going through this whole process. And then the phone line drops. Like after I've given him all of that information, I'm like, that's weird. So I'm looking at my signal. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Michael, so I logged back into Navy Federal, and all of my savings that I had, of course, I have a checking and savings. All of my savings that I had been moved up to my checking.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yes. So of course, I'm going through my phone and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm checking the text messages. So all of those alerts, essentially, it was like everything was completely wiped from my phone. Like the alerts that they sent me were all gone. The telephone call, like just nothing. So when I tried to call the number back, I kid you not, it looked just like Navy Federal's number. I think it was one digit off. I called back and it gave me like a busy signal. So then I go back to the app. I'm like, I did not move my money. So luckily my husband banks with Navy Federal as well. So I sent him everything that I had immediately. and I called Navy Federal, and I'm like, you guys, this is what just happened. And they was like, well, yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, there are people out here who are now impersonating the banks, and that is how they're scamming people.
Wow.
Yeah. So they are, sending the messages just like your bank normally would. They're calling you just like the bank normally would. And when he called, like, I don't know if you've ever had to deal with any type of fraud on your account.
Oh yeah.
But so when they call, it doesn't say like Navy Fed is calling. It's always like some, strange number, because it's like the fraud department, basically, like the police of the bank. Yeah. So when I had got that call, I really, really thought that it was them. And I'm like, if my instinct wouldn't have caught on, to check my account immediately after that phone call dropped, all of my money would have been gone.
Wow. So how long did they take to fix the problem like that, or a couple days?
Yeah, so when I called Navy Federal, when I called the real Navy Federal,
the real Navy,
it was immediate. So they were able to really change my passwords, encrypt everything and all of that. And if you guys do not have a two-step authentication process, meaning, after you put in your password, you're putting in another type of deal to get into whatever account, I highly, highly, highly recommend it, because prior to this all happening, I was just using my thumbprint, and everything opens up. But I'm like, if I would not have called them, I would have been broke. Yeah.
Wow, that is interesting and scary. I remember a couple years back, I applied for $1,000 loan, right? I got denied. And then I got a call from a guy that said I've been approved for $10,000.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wait a minute now. Let me do the math. If I couldn't get $1,000 loan, how can I get a $10,000 loan? That doesn't make any sense.
It's strange. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are. And it is so scary, because I'm like, Navy Federal, I mean, all the military veterans, you either bank with Navy Fed, Penn Fed, or USAA.
Yeah.
So
I'm with Navy Federal,
Yeah. So I just thought for sure, like, oh no, nothing's gonna happen with Navy Federal. Like, this is a military bank, we're gonna be good. And to see that happening, which it wasn't really their fault, but I don't know how some random individuals were able to mirror Navy Federal so well to come after us, their members. So it was definitely an eye-opening experience. I have to admit, it just made me really hate people, technology, all of that, because it's like nobody can be trusted and you're not safe, even if you do think you are.
Right. Well, I know there's several types of scams, but every time I do any type of application or a search for anything financial, I start getting these bogus scam calls.
Yeah.
All over the place. And I'm like, wait a minute now. I don't remember applying for your company. Who are you folks?
Yeah. It's so strange.
Yeah. So what I usually do is I will call a company directly. I will find the direct number.
Oh, okay.
I will call the company directly. Like a couple years back, I was trying to get my car wrapped, the wrappings for your car, like Fritos and all that stuff. So I applied for one place. I think it was Instagram. No. Indeed. I went on Indeed, right? I applied for this company to get my car wrapped. What happened was about 3 o'clock in the morning, I started getting emails. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not normal business hours. People in America do business from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Unless it's in another country where the time zone's different. So, okay, no problem. But I kept getting these calls, and I talked to this guy because he sounded like he had a real good deal. That's before the light bulb went off that, okay, Mike, look, you're getting a call at 3 a.m. with an email all the time. You better make a phone call. So I called Frito's fraud department, And they said, unfortunately, we're aware of the scam going on. There's nothing we can do about it because it's really hard to track the person that's doing it. But just then they asked me, did you give them any money? I said, no. Well, good. You're one of the
Mhm.
lucky ones. So whatever there's out there, there's a scam that actually mirrors it, you know.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get a loan or whatever, they got scams to mirror all this stuff, and it is really spooky. I'm at the point now where, well, I got scam alert on my phone, of course, but I'm at the point now that I will only call the branch. Period.
Hmm.
I'm not talking to nobody on the phone about nothing. I'm gonna call the branch. I'm gonna talk to the human being. I'm gonna research the number. I'm gonna
Yeah.
dot my I's and cross the T's, and make sure I'm talking to the actual branch or the actual financial institution that I'm trying to do business with. No more of these free form loan sharks folks with
No.
I don't want to sound bad, but a lot of them got accents.
No, I no,
Somebody's gonna
I
hate me for
totally
that one, but
agree.
it just happens all the time. But it's not only that. There are a lot of the lawyer scams where people say that you're in collections. I'm representing an
Yes.
attorney, and I just left the attorney's office like 5 minutes ago, and we're going to
Hmm.
send the marshal to your job. I'm like, you know something? Send them.
Yeah, I've had that happen too, where it sounded like I don't know where this dude was. I don't know if he was in the Middle East or what, but he called my phone. He had the last four of my social, and then he said that he was coming for me. He's going to put me in jail if I don't pay this money. And then at the end of the voicemail, he told me, "Good luck." I'm like, I wish you would. I wish you would.
I heard
Please
that.
do.
Yeah.
Please come this way.
Hey,
But
be like cousin Bob, bring everybody.
yeah, it's just frustrating. It's just so frustrating because everything is going towards technology. And it's like, even for my generation, well, me personally, like I'm trying to resist it as much as I can,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's like you have to get with the times or you're going to be behind. So I can't take all of my money out of the bank and like put it in my mattress or bury it in the backyard. Like you don't do stuff like that anymore.
Good idea,
Everything,
though.
I
It's
know,
a
right?
real good idea.
Everything is on the phone or
Yeah.
scan this or microchip this. And it's frustrating that we're heading that way and that there's people like in a basement somewhere with a supercomputer scamming people,
Right,
scamming innocent
right,
people.
right. Well, it's easy to just sit home in your favorite clothes and do stuff
Yeah.
online versus getting in your car and driving to the bank. And because of COVID-19, it was hard to get in the bank. So
Yeah, that's
everybody
true.
just depended on the laptops and everything. And I think a lot of people probably got scammed during COVID-19 because, nobody's going nowhere.
Yeah, nobody's going anywhere. And then you also have to think about it too, those PPP loans.
Oh,
So who knows who was tracking that?
yeah, yeah.
And then maybe you didn't have a legit business, but you still got the loan, but then you were somehow scammed out of the money that you received. Like it's a mess.
Well, that's another episode by itself, PPP loans, so.
Yeah.
And you know what made me mad? I applied for my PP loan with a legitimate
Mhm.
business. And by the time the guy finally got to me, they ran out of money.
Wow.
And I'm like, really? Because I had a shopping list that long. It was all business related, something I needed,
Yeah.
3 or 4 computers, 5 or 6 laptops,
Yeah, stuff that you need. But
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
hear about that one guy? I think he might have been out in Atlanta. He bought like all kind of cars, jewelries, um, houses, all kind of stuff with his
Mm.
PPP loan money. So yeah, I'm just tired of the scamming and the dishonesty.
Well, didn't the FBI come get him?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The FBI came and got him, but
Mm.
I'm just like, why? There were a lot of legit businesses
Right.
who needed that
Yep.
money and a lot of businesses that closed. I mean, I don't know if you use Yelp or not, but a lot of the restaurants around us had closed down because they
Okay.
couldn't afford to, stay open. So
Right. Right.
it's a little upsetting
Yeah,
that
yeah.
somebody would get millions of dollars and buy cars and jewelry when, when you have a business, you're investing everything in that.
Well, people aren't too bright because if you go to a car now and pay the car with cash, it automatically sends out a red flag to the FBI and everybody else, DEA. But there was a time where you could do that, and nobody really cared. And then the government realized that the movers and shakers, the illegal ones anyway, they would go in and buy a car, right, with cash. They would buy $50,000 with cash on a car. I mean, who's walking around $50,000 in the bank to buy a car?
Yeah,
unless you got a 12-figure income, 100-figure
yeah.
income or something. I get it then, and then you got enough sense to use that black super, card that you can buy anything on it. That they call you and ask you if you want to apply, because you got to have X amount of asserts to get it and be worth $1 million or something. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Nobody I know walks to the car dealer. Oh, here's $50,000. Hold up, I got a couple of rolls of 20s and 100. Let me count it out for you.
Yeah. So
hey, if I was a janitor there, I'd call the FBI myself. Hello, this is the janitor at the car dealer. I got somebody y'all need to talk to. Send everybody.
yeah, it's a mess. It is truly, truly a mess.
Yeah. So what are you doing now after that happened to make sure you and your family is safe?
So the biggest thing is going through and checking all of my passwords. I'm guilty of this. I was one of those people whose one password was the password to like every account.
Me too.
Yeah. So now that's been completely changed. I also have like if you use like the Experian app, they also have the credit monitoring and all of that.
Right.
So
right.
even if a butterfly tries to pull my credit, I'm getting an alert.
Right.
Definitely setting up the two tier authentication process. Not accepting any call. If you don't leave a voicemail, we're not talking, because I need to hear what you're saying and all of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for right now.
Okay. All right. That's a fascinating story, and it's really, really scary. Because
Yeah.
I know people who've gotten caught up in the love scam, where and usually it's somebody who's recently had a real bad relationship breakaway, fall apart. Now you're vulnerable. Now you think, well, am I even worth being with anybody? Is it me?
Yeah.
Am I a messed up human being? Then all of a sudden here comes Mr. or Miss Beautiful, and they're so interested in you. And what makes me laugh all the time, because I'm like 61 years old, so I get these emails online from girls who are 22 years old. I'm saying, really? How many times have I been in the grocery store with my 61-year-old butt, and some girl 23 years ago goes, "Hey, good looking, you're the guy I want to talk to." It ain't happening. It ain't happening. But unfortunately, a lot of older guys online who shouldn't be online because they keep getting sucked in these love traps.
Yeah.
They need to get monitored. And I'm gonna tell the millennials, y'all monitor y'all grandparents. Make sure you're checking their emails so they don't get caught up in some kind of scam. But it's like, unfortunately, and I'm saying that being humorous, but it's true. If you got a guy who's 75 years old, he's single now, and all of a sudden some beautiful girl, 23 years old, says, I think you're really intelligent and all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And if you're like 5 years short of a six-pack, you're gonna fall for it.
Yeah, it's really
I probably shouldn't have said that, but
No, it's the truth though. It's the truth. It's really sad.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else you'd like to add to this topic?
I would just say, just watch your bank account. I know we kind of rely on the apps to track our money, but I think at this point you might have to break out the old pencil and paper and calculator, just to make sure that every dollar is accounted for. Do not, if you get any type of security alerts, don't respond to them on your phone. Like you said, we're going to take your advice. We're going to call the branch directly, call Navy Federal directly, call USAA directly, because I've also heard that, sometimes these scammers will get they'll get your cell phone number, and then of course they'll text you, and the message will be written as if it's somebody that you know, and it'll be like, oh, click on this link. And then when you click on it, it just exposes them to everything that's in your phone. So just stay diligent, get a gun. I don't know. Stay prepared.
That's a good idea. And what's that movie Taken where the guy says, I will find you? Mm-hmm. Well, that's what my voicemail should say. If you're a scammer, I got these skills that I've developed and I will find you. Knock on your house. Well, I think the best idea is get a shovel and a pillowcase and put all your money in, bury it, and put a Rockwater doghouse over where it's buried. So that might alleviate a lot of the problems right there.
You're probably right. I feel like we're going backwards. I may need to do that. Bury my money in the backyard because
definitely.
Yeah, that was a really traumatizing experience.
Wow, I get it because I've been real close, and then when I almost got scammed the first time and it could have been serious, I said, Mike, you're gonna have to start going back into your trust issues mode again.
Yeah.
Because when I had trust issues and really let it roll, I never had no problems with nothing. Moment I start trusting, that's when here comes the rain. So you got to have trust issues when you're dealing with this technology and stuff. Because a lot of times somebody will email me online, and the first thing I'll say is, "Who are you? Do I know you? I mean, if you're somebody I've dealt with in one of the social media groups, okay, cool, okay, no problem. Yeah. If it's somebody I've interacted with you on a long period of time through either me being in the music game or my ministry, something like that, that's different. But if I, accepted your friend request and 2 seconds later, you're high.
Yeah. And
really?
In the messenger and calling you, like I'm not doing no more friends requests. Like I'm already introverted as enough.
Right.
And we'll cut people off in a heartbeat. But now it's getting to the point where it's like, if you're not in my household, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's a little harder for me because I'm in the ministry and all that stuff. Yeah. Some people might contact me and they may have a legitimate spiritual crisis. I will put that on the table. I'll put that on the table for about 20 seconds. They got 20 seconds to convince me that the exorcist is in their house and everybody's possessed.
Yeah. Before we do anything.
I got about 20 seconds, I need to see somebody levitating, something going on, and I'm kind of exaggerating, but I need you to get to the point when you email me and I don't know who you are. But if somebody's in their group and they're saying, hey, Mike, I saw you in this group. I'm affiliated with this person. I saw your podcast, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I get it. But if it's just, hey, good looking, how you doing? Do you have a girlfriend? Listen, 20-year-old girl, what makes you think I want a girlfriend? From Nigeria.
Yeah.
Who needs my bank account, to get the gold mine money transferred over here. So,
Yeah.
So I know you heard of the gold mine scam, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Them trying to extort you, like, or we'll release your photos, like all kind of stuff that's going on. I'm like, where are these people at? Like us being the US, we don't have an elite force of ITs, an elite force of hackers, coders who can just handle all of this, but I guess not.
We need a division like that just focuses on that. And unfortunately, we have a lot of independent people that work in cybersecurity and all that. And a few people who have stood up and did shows on cyber stuff. I think there's this one guy on YouTube, he actually scams the scammers. I can't think of the guy's name, but I think I saw one of his episodes. I'm probably going to look this guy back up, but I remember he tracked down a call center. He actually went there and of course, it was pretty interesting. I was
Yeah.
cheering for him on every step of the way.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what we need. We
definitely,
definitely need something like that.
definitely. Well, with that being said, thank you, Brittany, for appearing on Clergy Talk podcast. And I hope you and your family have a blessed year, a successful year.
Thank
And
you.
if anybody calls you and tries to scam you, send them to me. I got some choice words for them.
I definitely will. Thank you so much for having me. I
You
really
have a great
appreciate it.
day. Thank
You
you.
too. Thanks.
All
Bye bye.
righty. Bye.